Coming up on Wildcat News, we take a look at what is in store for the future of UK men's basketball.
A TEDx Talk event was held at UK to have exceptional community members share ideas and inspire audience members.
And we take a look at an update on a recent competition. Wildcat News starts now. Hello, I'm Molly Dimrow.
And I'm Julia Keener. Welcome to your Wildcat News.
With the recent announcement of the new UK men's head basketball coach, reporter Kennedy Whitby attended the recent press conference for Coach Pope. Kennedy, can you tell us a little bit about your experience?
Thank you, Molly. Mark Pope's press conference was such an experience. Being there felt very similar to a sold-out finals tournament. People from all across Kentucky came to watch the conference, leaving the ground shaking after every UK roar. Along with the Pope and his family, the '96 championship team joined the conference to support Pope in his new journeys. Pope told fans that he is still currently in a group chat with the '96 team, and he is sure that they will scold him this season if anything goes wrong. I'll have more coming up later in the show, but for now, back to you, Molly.
People were warned for weeks leading up to the solar eclipse not to stare directly at the sun. It turns out that even if some people took that advice, they were still worried about damage to their eyes. Dr. Tammy Hoskins is an optometrist and works closely with concerned patients after the eclipse who may have thought they permanently damaged their eyes. She gives insight as to what happens when looking directly into an eclipse.
People should not look into a solar eclipse because it can cause retinopathy, solar retinopathy, and this can cause lesions on the back of the retina, which can cause distortion of your vision. It can also cause impairment of your vision permanently, or it can cause decreased color vision.
Dr. Hoskins said most people tend to get hypersensitive because looking into the eclipse is talked about so often. But don't take any chances. If you believe something is truly wrong, you should get a dilated exam.
A TEDx event was held at the University of Kentucky to have Lexington's best and brightest to share their experiences within their fields. Wildcat News reporter Vendela Norris tells us more about TEDx.
TEDx is holding a talk here today at the University of Kentucky to allow Lexington community members to talk about their endeavors within their industry, such as art, engineering, or academia. As TEDx likes to say it, their ideas we're sharing.
TED Talks are held around the world to create spaces for speakers to educate audiences while sharing personal experiences. A TEDx Talk was held at UK to have Lexington's community innovators and leaders share their endeavors.
Me and the organizer Deb Penner have been organizing this since January. We got a whole team together, and it's basically like a community event, kind of to showcase the hidden ideas of the University of Kentucky and beyond. And today's theme is trailblazing, so it's who's kind of forging the path for new people innovating.
The X in TEDx Talks are for independently organized events by those within a university. An international student from Brazil, Deb Pena, held TEDx Talks back home, but always had a dream to hold one at UK.
And actually the organizer did one, she's Brazilian, she did one back in Brazil, a youth one, and it's always been her college dream to do one here.
TEDx Talks are dedicated to sparking conversations and connections within different communities, while making it a point that the talks have no religious, political, or commercial agendas.
And I think the goal is to make this a tradition and have it every year. If we start planning it a lot earlier, it can be even bigger and better than before.
The TEDx Talk theme for today was trailblazing, or those in the community who are pushing the boundaries within their industries. For Wildcat News, I'm Vendela Norris.
TEDx hopes to return to campus next year to showcase more trailblazers within Kentucky.
A former UK swim coach is accused of sexually assaulting athletes, among other allegations. Lars Jorgensen was the UK swim and dive team coach for a decade, starting in 2013. Two former swim team members filed the suit against Jorgensen, athletic director Mitch Barnhart, and another former swim coach, Gary Connolly. It alleges that all three fostered an environment that encouraged sexual harassment. It also says that when other colleges brought concerns about Jorgensen to Barnhart, he dismissed them. Jorgensen himself denied the allegations, while UK spokesperson Jay Blanton says they are working to review the complaints. Book banning is on the rise at schools across the U.S., according to a new report. There were 4,300 instances of book bans during the first half of this school year. That's already more than the entire 2022 to 2023 school year, which had 3,300 book bans. The report was compiled by PEN America, a century-old literary and free expression advocacy group. PEN America says books that discuss sex, abortion, or rape are among the most censored. Other books targeted feature narratives about race, racism, and LGBTQ themes.
Recently, an event planning class of 16 UK students saw their hard work pay off. The event, titled United We Shop, took place at the United Talent of Georgetown, Kentucky, and showcased over 45 local businesses. In addition, there was a food truck, children's activities, and a UK athlete signing table. UK event planning student Kennedy Fuchs shared how this class has been helpful for her and her classmates.
It's honestly like the most real life class I've been in, honestly, because like I've never had to reach out to people in the real world for a class. It's usually just like assignments, and this one we've been reaching out to people with actual businesses and actual different things to do, so it's been interesting.
Fuchs also said their class has taught her more meaningful things like the power of teamwork. It looks like this year's event was a hit.
University of Kentucky alumni Adam Edelin is bringing jobs back to coal country and power to the whole country.
As of 2024, there were 27 abandoned coal mines in Kentucky. Edelin Renewables, a Lexington-based solar energy company, is a developer of renewable energy projects that create both economic and environmental benefit to these forgotten parts of America.
We believe that we can leverage the opportunities of the green energy revolution to bring modern economic opportunity to communities that deserve them. And there are a lot of forgotten places in America, and we're not going to rest until we're helping bring new capital and new opportunity to all of them.
Edelin uses his past career as a politician to his benefit, reaching out to rural communities and creating jobs in solar energy.
We believe that economic development is something that should happen for people rather than to them. And secondly, we believe that if you're going to try to improve communities, you've got to be present in them. Eastern Kentucky in particular, and coal country more generally, we're being hollowed out by the disappearance of the coal economy. And I wanted to find a new set of solutions to help bring economic opportunity to the people who powered the Industrial Revolution of America for 100 years. And that led me to the renewable energy business. And so now we're bringing solar projects to coalfield communities and doing that to great effect. And that's an effort now that we have sought to expand across the country.
For Wildcat News, I'm Sophia Shoemaker.
Edelin Renewables has created solar solutions projects across the entire country, from Pennsylvania to the Appalachia and even New Mexico.
Coming up on Wildcat News, Kennedy Whitby gives us a better look at the new head coach for men's basketball.
We'll be right back.
In a time full of war, be peace. In a time full of doubt, just believe. In a world full of hate, be a light. Oh, when you do somebody wrong, make it right. Make it right. Don't hide in the dark. You were born to shine. In a world full of hate, be a light.
Is it time yet?
It's time.
Let's start time for dinner.
Oh, it's really good.
Pasta dinner.
Donating pet food is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What?
I can't drive.
Why?
My.
Oh.
Welcome back to Wildcat News. I'm Kennedy Whitby with sports. This weekend, the University of Kentucky hosted a press conference to introduce men's basketball head coach Mark Pope. The event was open to the public and every seat was filled. I had the opportunity to attend the conference, and let's just say Pope is ready to work. Sunday afternoon, over 20,000 fans flooded the streets in their blue and white, lined up to attend the official introduction of Mark Pope, former Wildcat turned head coach of the Kentucky men's basketball team. This is Kentucky's first coach in 15 years following the exit of Hall of Fame coach John Calipari. Despite Pope leaning towards a no-expectation approach, fans still seem to have high hopes for Pope this season.
I think that Pope is a good hire. We can work with him. He knows what he's doing here. He's been through it all before. We can see what happens.
Absolutely. I am just excited for this next season. Let's see how far we can go, you know. I know he's all about winning. Let's see where we can go with him.
Pope is no stranger to winning. In 1996, Pope led as captain of the Wildcats to their 6th national championship, defeating Syracuse 76-67. And he has plans to lead Kentucky to their 9th next season.
When Mitch called me and talked to me about being the head coach here in Kentucky, I understand the assignment. We are here to win.
Pope made it clear how important family is to his coaching approach next season.
Guys, it is the greatest honor that I will ever have in my professional or this family career to be able to come back here and do this with you. The difference between Kentucky and every other program in the country is that this is not my team. It's not even our team. It is our team.
Pope then gave away his game plan of how he planned to coach next season, similar to how he coached his previous team, BYU.
You know that my team last year made the 2nd most threes in all of college basketball. But in Kentucky, we don't come in second.
Pope says he has began recruiting for next year's team, and he's excited about winning. Center Aaron Bradshaw and point guard DJ Wagner both entered the transfer portal. Bradshaw announcing his commitment to Ohio State yesterday. We will be right back.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable. The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kids should know.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
Okay.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Welcome back to Wildcat News. Joining us in the studio today is reporter Nate Lucas, giving us an update on the recent powerlifting competition.
Nate, you have been following this story all semester. What's with the latest with Kevin Wynn?
Well, just about a month ago, guys, I told you about how the powerlifting scene at UK is growing, and I told you about Kevin Nguyen's story. And just this last week, he and other UK powerlifters made the trip to Atlanta to compete in the USA Collegiate Nationals. So take a look at how these athletes fared at their meet.
I just finished competing at Collegiate Nationals today, and I got 5th place, podium spot, baby.
Last week, the UK Powerlifting Club took on the USA Powerlifting Collegiate Nationals in Atlanta, Georgia. They competed against other college lifters throughout the country to test who's the strongest in each weight class, men's and women's. Lifters were asked to complete 3 lifts: the squat, bench, and deadlift. After judges add up all the weight lifted in all 3 exercises, the winner is determined.
Walking in here, by just telling the atmosphere and just everything else, there's always someone going to be stronger and better than you, but don't let that discourage you. That just be grateful that you get to experience all this, and grateful that God gave you this strength, and like you get compete with these other people. Like there was no hatred to anyone higher than me or nothing. Like I was just happy that I was there and I could show off how strong I am. How drippy is this? This is for people back home at UK. Go Cats, baby.
Nate Lucas reporting for Wildcat News. So apart from Nguyen, teammate Logan Frappoli placed 5th in women's raw 82.5 kilos. That was out of 7 athletes that went to the competition. Nguyen also said that he thinks that UK should offer scholarships for powerlifting, much like other schools that attended the meet. Now back to you all.
That is all of your Wildcat news for today. Join us next Tuesday for our last show of the semester.
Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.